Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Play Factorio. So, a little tired. Hopefully I won't derp off. Well, we're already off to a good start. I want to show you what we've done, and thankfully, because we have the new, being able to view everything, I can give you a grand friggin' tour. First off, we have a wall system. Electro's is cooler, more protected. Mine's lame. It's hand-fed. Ready for the future for lasers, though. So I built a big wall all the way down here, and all the way up, and all the way here. And Electro has done the same on his side. We decided to do this like cooperatively. And oops, I went out of the map. So if you zoom out, you can see the map. It borders us in completely from the biters. We went through a lot of biters. These ones here are just big biters. I couldn't deal with these yet, so I just left them there. But we've had a lot of attacks. Now, they've slowed down quite a bit, especially for Electro. He's got, like, next to no biter attacks, which is awesome. And I'm going to... Well, that was me dying sneezing. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, so almost next to no biter attacks for Electro recently. But these are our stats. We're into small biters. Basically spitter ones and mediums, I guess, are up because our evolution's at 31% now. So yeah, we've been getting up there. We're big boys now. Base itself, though, we've done so many changes, and might as well get through them. So we tapped in the copper. We're using red belts now for most of it, for the main pipeline. Same with iron. Now, I was a bit tired and kind of busy and, up and down kind of thing. I would have done these probably with trains. I'm trying trains differently. Normally, I have a double-headed train, like one on the back, one at the front, and sort of like unrealistic to real life, but it runs really well. But I'm thinking of doing a loop-style system this time in this Let's Play series for fun. Something new, something different, because I don't really make fun of it. I've joked about it a lot of times, but I was kind of shown originally and looked at it completely different. So I've done trains kind of completely different than most people originally when I started Factorio. This is before, like, loops were big back in the day and they weren't doing the double-headed trains as much. But I started on double-headed trains right away. So most people were like, whoa, that's kind of different to me. But now I'm so alienated against the loops. I've never actually done loops ever that I would like to give loops a try. So I think what I'm going to do is do loops. Electro's already doing trains, but what I would have probably done was a small a two-way line just for these to pick up them back and forth from the base. But I've chosen for now to do this all via conveyors. Why not? Because I am playing vanilla at the same time, and I've never done, conveyors out this far before, and I thought, hell, let's do it. So that's what that is. So if we go up here, you can see this is hooked up. I'm using a fun little configuration. This is a balancer. It takes 3 to 2 basically, and so it balances our old patches in and should work really well. All 3 should evenly sort of balance in. That's the idea, that it takes it all in nice and even. Same with the iron here as well. And of course, I've doubled up our production here. So not only we have all steel furnaces now here, they're also a whole second one. So there's 80 steel furnaces for iron and 80 steel furnaces for copper. Now, I don't know the ratios, blah, blah, blah. I'll have to adjust that. It's red belts all the way into the center. The outsides for the iron and up, same with copper, have not been adjusted yet. I have to do that. Outside that, we've upgraded big time the steam engines here, basically doubled them for now. Probably need even more than that over time, but for now, double's fine. And I've covered my full, I don't know if I did that with you guys or not, but I've covered my coppered my iron, coppered my coal, and covered, did I say copy? Covered my stone completely. and of course I've done that down there. Then I've changed this up so it just makes the bricks for now, and it's going to be part of our main line. And you can see in the chest there I got the bricks, some for myself, but basically this will be fed and used later on in some science science packs actually. And then in here I don't have a balancer and I don't have anything like that. Eventually I will, but we have 2 copper, 2 iron yellow lines now coming in, and they work. That's what counts. They work, and I'm happy with it. They're not balanced, they're not perfect, but it works and I'm having fun with it. And I think, to be honest, that's a big part of the game, right? If as long as you're having fun, go for it, right? But I'm almost done my red and green research, which is awesome too. So probably the next episode I should look into working on some of the research. I'll probably do military because it's kind of fun and it would be useful for me. Plus have some uses, and then later on will be the blue research, which will be oil, and we'll get into that. I do have an oil patch right here. Not a lot of oil, but enough to get us started. And then we'll build our oil infrastructure. I don't know, maybe up here somewhere. I haven't decided. But either way, because I cleared out early on, it worked out well. I don't have radar coverage here, so that's why it's kind of messy there. Anything else I did? Nothing much. I've upgraded steel a wee bit. I will have to redo this completely to have a better throughput for steel, of course, later on, but I'm not worried about that. I've made my... my belts here, my orange belts, I call them red belts. Some people call them orange, but I'm going to always call them red. My red belts here anyways are done. So gear, normal belt, into red belt, and then gears into that because it needs extra gears, and it's just stored in there quite a bit. I don't even have a buffer on there because it's like kind of like a, I need it over time, whatever. Gears, I think you've seen. I don't know if we did ammo, but I've just done ammo. But basically, it's just stone into, or it's not stone, iron plates into ammo. And then pretty similar over here for the assembly machine here. This was iron gears, copper, and iron makes turrets, and then we have some turrets here, but I've disabled them completely from crafting because I have quite a few now, and I have quite a few out here. I have 40 or so in my inventory, so let's say we have 50 outside of the placement of the map. If we go on here, we should see how many of these we have in total out here. 270. I don't know if this means that's how many placed, or actually I've never looked into that stat. Let's see what happens when we do that. That would be cool if that stat literally means how many buildings you have. 271 and 271. Oh, so that's just basically all the buildings you've placed. Well, I haven't really moved many turrets, so we could say we have probably about 250 plus turrets out on the map right now. So that's cool. Our fluids are interesting. I don't know exactly how this works because it is going up and down, so I'm assuming it is sort of dynamic to my power usage, but that being said, when Electro and I both rhymed out our numbers for fun, we were talking on voice, he said his was also 3.1 when mine was 3.1. Actually, he said 3.1, and then I said 3.1. I'm like, wow, that is magic. But that's cool. So today, we're going to take things a little further. I'm happy with our base. I'm happy with things the way they're going. I'm not happy with this. I want to change my circuit a bit more. You guys always complain. Well, I shouldn't say complain, but you always suggest, Kane, you need buses. You need buses. Kane, bus, bus, bus. And I get tired of being the bus boy. So you know what? I thought, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I need to become a bit more of a bus boy for you guys. So what I'm going to do is, I won't rip this down right now. Later on, I'll probably rip this down. But what I thought is we would actually make a brand new circuit factory setup near the bottom that runs through the bus, and instead of trying to wire this left, right, up, down, all around here all the time, I would instead run it up the center here, and it would be used all the time. Now, I might have some issues over time trying to navigate this mess here, but I'll figure it out eventually. But for now, I think we'll be fine, and that is the plan today. So that was almost a catch-up. That was like, what, almost a 10-minute catch-up of what I've done. But I think it was well worth it, and hopefully you enjoyed that. Now, I probably wouldn't normally play as much, but you could also see I haven't really done a lot. I mean, watching me place some miners on an outpost, you've already seen me do that. So doing it again isn't exciting. When I do trains and start placing some tracks and things like that, that's something different and new. When I go and clear out a big area to, you know, maybe build a rail system, things like that, that's interesting. That I probably would record at least the one time. You know, I'll clear out one outpost, set that up with you guys. After that, I probably wouldn't do more videos of clearing outposts. So it's more about, hey, we're working on a new research, not a new research, sorry, that would even be worse, but a new science pack that we're crafting or something like that. That's something that we would do sort of together. So like when we do the military gray science packs, we're going to do those together. And that's sort of my plan. So hopefully cutting that big chunk of gameplay out was worth it. And I'll tell you how many hours I've played in between the last episode. You'll find it crazy, but yesterday, oh wow, so probably about 7 hours. Holy crap, maybe even a bit more actually. About 7 or 8 hours I've played in between from when you watch the episode to this point. That's a lot of man hours put in there. Now I'm slow, I'm not fast. We already know that. I have no problem with that as long as you don't have a problem with that. But it gives you an idea how things are going. Would you like to check out my bonuses? Here they are. So 20 damage to your firearms, shooting speed is 50%. Damage to shotguns 20, shooting speed is 60. I got 2 quick bars right now. I think that's a max actually in vanilla. Research speed is 50%. Stack inserter capacity bonus is 2%, which is a big deal. Basically, that's for stack inserters for now, but later on you'll have them for regular inserters, where a regular inserter, for example, can move like 5 items at once, things like that. So that's a decent thing. 20% to stacks with ammo bonus. Oh, okay, there you go. So Electro was right about that. So here's your gun turret, plus you get your own ammo damage bonus on that. So your turrets get even, you know, stronger and stronger. And then we got the mining bonus of 6%, which is kind of cool. Okay, so let's get started on this. Let's grab a bunch of you guys. And I think that's probably it. We don't need to do too much. Now, of course, it's dark or it's night, whatever. Nothing new there. But, okay, so we'll start over here, I guess. We'll leave this a little open because it's always nice to have some room, right? I left a lot of room in here to begin with. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. We're doing this as an infrastructure, right? So this is important for it to be a decent size. I guess we're doing it... How are we doing this? I guess it's like that, right? And then that to that. And that to that. And this to that. And this to that. Now... You're probably going to want to do fast inserters for this entire setup. No point, you know, using old speeds and stuff like that, just because this is supposed to be slightly more optimal in performance, blah, blah, blah. You know how it works. I had some old picks I dropped there. Uh-oh, you don't do it like that, Kane. There you go. Sometimes this throws me off, so it's like, you know, I gotta figure it out right. There you go. That looks right, doesn't it to you guys? I think so. And then, of course, we'll have to do all the fun stuff out here. I have to figure out how I'm going to do all the underground yet. But before we get there, let's get a bunch of underground belts. Now, using yellow, probably not the fastest stuff out there, of course, but it's what we're going to use for now. And we'll change it up to oranges or whatever later on. No big deal there. Oops. Yeah, there you go. And so we'll grab from you. Nice. And then we're going to do the outputs, of course, and I'll switch them up a bit here. What are we running out of? Oh, funny enough, iron itself, so if you get in the middle there, you should do pretty good. Okay, there you go. We're still using yellow belts, or yeah. Great. Okay, so we'll scatter these around. So we'll do you, every other, of course. Oops. And then we'll do the yellows, or sorry, blues. And then we'll do the conveyors themselves. Now, remember, we're going to do it, it's the opposite way, right? Because we're going on to the, onto the main line, so we got to go right instead of left. Oh, and we got to fix this. There you go. And there we go. And I assume I have to decide how this works, but I'm thinking if I put it right straight in the middle, iron can still go left or right a bit, right? And yeah, and then this can go straight in the middle. I want it on this side rather than say on over here, just because I feel like we're gonna bring it to the left quite a bit anyways, because that's kind of how I build naturally. So this should help with that, or that's the idea anyways. If it works or not, that's another story, but hopefully it works out. And for now, it'll just be one, but eventually we'll have, you know, 2 lines of this, faster belts, things like that. And it should work out really well, hopefully. I guess in the end, this should work out decently. You know, you might have a bunch of stuff in the way, blah, 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 but I guess the whole point is you use underground belts and flip-flop, and, you know, at the end of the day, it should work out decently. But there we go. So let's power our creation, shall we? I do mostly just using the this stuff now. Downside is it's not going to fit here, so it's up to you how you want to do this. You can go like this, I guess. There you go. I guess it doesn't really matter at that point. Can it connect? Oh, no. There you go. And then, oh, that was close. I might have derped up. Wasn't paying attention there. Almost hit this. There you go. And I think I'm out of actual yellow belts. I could get more, of course, but since we need very little, I'd rather just go and take some more here. And then, of course, we're going to have to... See, this is where things get a little tricky, but like I said, you use underground belts for everything. You should be kind of fine in the long run, so... and then this is how I'm doing it. This is... this is not a balancer. It does... it does make sure, though, you can get the resources still flowing on both sides properly-ish, I guess. Of course, I just derped up. This all has to go down one more, but... it should at least work for what we want. There you go. And if you ever have a suggestion, feel free. Don't mind them. But I'm a visual person. You're either going to have to give me the blueprint to check out, or you're going to have to give me a picture or screenshot. Or if you're a better person, you'll give me an Imgur link to it with the blueprint ID on it. Because, yeah, sure, I can see it in an image, but still making me hand do it? Come on, we got blueprints now, my friends. So I want to show you this book that I got off of Reddit. This book basically has all these plans on it. I'm not sure if there's a way to do it. Shift mouse wheel for next, for previous. Right click to open. Oh, okay, here you go. So this has all these blueprints in here, if you can believe it. And you can look at all of them through here. Isn't that crazy? So if you look at this one, for example, this is what it has, you know, as blueprints anyways. Isn't that crazy? I'm trying to do it with light, but that's awesome. That's a 5 to 8. But yeah, smart, you know, people built these, and even the smart ones who play all the time, who are really good at this game, blah blah blah, they still use these all the time. Don't feel like you're you know, not doing it yourself or something, you're being cheap, because even the best of the best are always using other people's blueprints when it comes to stuff like that. That's one thing I've learned. Sure, if you contribute, you know, and create, you know, a really good style, you're part of the community, you're a smart person, blah blah blah. You know, you're a contributor in a sense. But if you use other people's blueprints for stuff like that, you're not dirty, you're not cheating, you're not, you know, you don't feel shameful because there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, if you don't do it, you're kind of an idiot because you're hurting yourself. Unless if that's what you enjoy, of course. If you enjoy, you know, doing that, not a big deal. But don't ever think that it's wrong to use other people's blueprints, because it's never wrong and it's highly recommended. And when I first started to play, and even for a long time, I probably felt like, you know, I'm like one of those people like, nah, I don't think so. But as time went on, I learned that, you know, do it. You know, you're going to enjoy it. You'll learn something from it over time too. Like, you know, even though if I don't quite understand what the hell this offers yet, like I understand their belt balancers and stuff like that, and, you know, smaller inputs to larger outputs and things like that. Like, that's good information, especially like with trains and stuff. Really good stuff here. But I think in the long run, the key thing here is that I'm learning. Like, I can understand, oh, I see how this works, and I see how it's done. Like, you know, this one splits out, right? So you got your line coming in and it splits right and left. This one splits left and right again, and then it splits left and right. So basically this is a perfect balance from 2 to 8, or even 1, I guess. 1 to 8 could be done, I guess, technically. But, you know, you play with that and you learn that. That one's a very easy one. But, you know, you deal with the more complicated ones and you'll start learning and understanding them as well. So look at that. For once, we actually have pretty decent bus going here. Not as good as a lot of you guys would have probably been able to make or have done. But for me, somebody who doesn't really do these buses, hopefully this is an achievement on its own. I'm proud of it. We got our iron, 2 irons, 1 circuit right now, 2 copper, 1 coal, 1 stone, and 1, well, a half a belt of steel, which I definitely need to do something with, and I will probably tomorrow. That won't be done, you know, tonight in my time anyways. I'm definitely too tired. I probably sound a bit, ooh, this is taking some damage here. So we'll probably need to put another turret in that area. So when that happens, what I do is I double click. Oh, there you go. I put the confirm there. You don't even have to put anything. And that's like, so I look on the map and I know that's a spot I need to keep an eye on. But anyways, guys and girls, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and we'll see you wonderful people next time.